Hello, Jade.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello, how is it going?
Another day, no
Another
more dollars.
dollar. Oh, another day, another nickel. Uh, lots of things in the world, right?
Many things.
I want to tell you something actually real quick here. Something happened on campus today, right? Small thing.
Ooh,
Or something actually, it's something well, I mean there's a few things that have been happening on campus. Yesterday there was a fire in the library. Um and like I saw fire trucks pulling into the lot, like people were standing outside, but the library is still standing, so I don't really care. But I thought it was gonna burn down, which is really funny because they just remodeled it. So like that would have been funny, but also not funny. You know, if a college campus burns down or like explodes or in some way becomes inaccessible, everyone passes the semester for like just they just pass.
watch me fucking consider arson.
uh, anyway, the thing I was going to talk about was something I was super excited for. It was like a little. It was called Puppies Pizza and Positivity, and they were advertising that in the student center building there was going to be a bunch of dogs and pizza and stuff today. So I stayed there waiting for it. And I was like excited. I was like a little tap of my feet, and then I see one dog and it's just surrounded by people and there's no pizza and I'm just so fucking pissed. I'm
I
just,
thought you'd be excited by the dog.
yeah, but it was like he was taken. I couldn't get to him. I was expecting like a room full of dogs with some pizza that I can just sit with a dog and chill, but no, it's like one dog for 30 people to just look at. And I was like, I don't want to be around people. I want to be around a dog and pizza.
Sounds like shitty planning.
Yeah, maybe because it goes until like 2, so maybe like it gets better later, but I don't have time to stay there. I only had time to stay until 11. So maybe there were more dogs. I don't think so. I don't know. But I took the time but waiting for it to get some work done on my essay. So that's good. But
Oh, getting some work done.
yeah, I mean, I the main issue I have with my essay is that I just can't sit my ass down and read my sources and stuff. Like I'm just not like I want to read. I have ideas of how to write this shit in my head. I want to read this articles and stuff, but like, man, I don't have the fucking energy recently to like sit down and read through academic journals right now, even if they're like really
Yeah,
interesting. Just
there's a lot going on to like sit down and read academic
yeah,
journals.
yeah. I'm just like brain fogged. I need to get in the habit of like listening to music that'll like focus me or something. I think that's the best thing I can try to do for. Because if it's no noise, then I can't focus. But if it's like a YouTube video, then I obviously can't focus on anything but the YouTube video. But maybe music could act as that. But it'd have to be like music I don't love, also don't hate, because otherwise it'll also disrupt me.
I mean, you know me as somebody who likes like rock and industrial, and
Yeah,
I focus on lyrics,
yeah,
singing, and all that. But when I worked at one job in an office, I needed to close, like we had a minimum quota of closing like 20 cases a day, and I put on Nightcore.
really. That's surprising for you, I
Yeah,
feel.
I could do basically my entire day's work in an hour.
Hmm. I should probably try to get something in for that for me. For me, the music I find to be most calming is music that doesn't have any lyrics, which basically lands me into either like classical music or video game music or like random fucking hyper pop songs or some shit like that.
I actually found like a couple of good like mixes on YouTube. There's the instrumental versions of Nine Inch Nails
Yeah,
songs.
you've been on call with those a few times.
Yeah,
They're nice.
there's one that I was listening to a little bit while working on stuff, which is it's a weird mix. I'll just give you the title that they gave it when they uploaded it to YouTube. Silent Hill, but it's a 2000s alt rock album, which is just like
Green Day.
remixed versions of no, like remixed versions of the actual Silent Hill music
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
it
I was
sound
just
more
saying
like
like 2000s alt rock, like
Green Day
Green
is
Day.
not alt rock.
Isn't it? Little punk. It's punk, right?
Yes,
Which is like alt rock. You know,
it's modern punk, which is not alt rock.
names are
Alt rock,
confusing.
look, rock genres are very nebulous in the first place, but like alt rock would be like
White Stripes
no,
or no?
White Stripes
Okay.
is think of like Evanescence.
Uh,
Like not
I
I
gotta.
only
Oh,
think of that as the example because it's the one that's
I
jumped into
have
my head.
I
Like
have to
early
find.
Linkin
You
Park.
said Evanescence, and I have to find. I wish I had the video on hand, but there's a video of some like Mexican guy playing like a Dragon Ball game, and then he all of a sudden just breaks into perfect. Can you see from my eyes an open door?
Wow.
And it's like
Wow.
it's like the funniest
Thank
fucking thing.
goodness that cut out of my
It
side.
it cut out for you.
Like a little bit. Because it got very like pitchy.
Wake me
I don't know.
up, wake me
Pitchy
up.
pitchy stuff really gets to me. Meet lower your volume, yeah.
wake me up,
Today's
it's
a
time
loud
to
day
wake up.
for your microphone for some reason.
I don't know. My microphone. I never touch the settings for it ever, but my fucking microphone just changes for people. Maybe it's my tone. Maybe my voice just changes dramatically, like day to day, and I don't realize it. Is that an autism thing?
I don't know.
I feel like
The
that
autism thing I know
it's a me
is
thing.
people who speak in like more monotone.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
think Anseri.
yeah.
Anseri's got like not we're speaking of weren't we gonna have Anseri today?
Oh fuck, we forgot. I forgot. I think she's sleeping. I think she's offline,
Uh
or she's playing Repo, which means she's probably busy because that's like a multiplayer game.
oh, no, she says idle.
Oh yes, she's
Should
just.
always pop her a message. She could like come in halfway through.
I I forgot about her.
Yeah, just pop her a message and she could like come in halfway through.
Okay.
Who knows? We'll just have like why not bring the chaos, right?
Yeah,
But like not to say anything negative because I don't think it's a negative thing. But Anseri has more of the what people imagine the autistic
yeah,
voice
yeah.
with.
Yeah, yeah. And there's no issue with that at all. I know a lot of people though who have that monotone speaking voice. I don't know if I've ever talked about these people in the podcast, but as a kid, my mom had there was like a family friend, and this is kind of rare for my family because we never really had like family friends and stuff like that. Like, oh, our families are friends, that whole deal. We didn't really have that, but there was one who my mom knew for a bit, and they were like really rich, like super super rich. They had this massive house with a massive pool, a massive yard, they had a fucking hot tub in the back. They had a theater room with and as a kid I loved it because they had every single like Star Wars figurine fucking ever in that theater room. And I remember like watching episode 3 on the big theater and getting to the Order 66 scene and crying. But they had a massive basement and all that. And
Right.
I don't know why I'm going into this. I forget how I got on this. What did I say? What did you say? Oh, the monotone voice. Yeah, no, they had a little autistic kid uh who they said was autistic because of vaccines, and that like when they gave him the vaccine, his veins went black and he started like puking out ooze. I'm not joking. This is what my mom told me they said. Uh so so according to them, their kid had autism because he was fucking injected with evil dark serum.
Evil dark serum.
Literally like Lovecraftian like Dagon shit.
People are stupid.
People are really dumb. But they had a big basement with like the same thing with the Star Wars figures, but for the Simpsons and stuff, with a little mini Springfield. And it was really cool. And they had like fucking I remember watching them play Mortal Kombat 9 on the PS3 and like the Tomb Raider remake and shit. That was cool. I think it was the Tomb Raider remake. It might have been something different. It might have been like Uncharted or some shit, and I was too young to realize what it was. Anyway, that was like a lot of sidetracks. Let's talk about politics.
Politics is wild. I've been struggling to. It's not even that I've been struggling to keep up with like the news of it. It's just I feel like I haven't really been absorbing it
Yeah.
because it's so horrendous.
This was a busy week though. So I'm gonna fill you in. I'm gonna give you the scoops. So the first big story, and what's probably the biggest story, is Liberation Day.
Wisconsin.
No, 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 no. This
Oh,
is Liberation Day.
Liberation Day.
So Liberation Day is the tariffs. They went into effect yesterday. Trump announces
Right,
sweeping new
right.
tariffs to promote U.S. manufacturing, risking. So the idea behind the tariffs is always that they want the idea on paper is that people want businesses to do their business in America. So in order to incentivize that, you put on restrictions to importing. So instead of doing your business overseas and importing the product, you do your business in the country. But the issue is, this doesn't work in a modern economy because America isn't a manufacturing country; it's a service and tech country. That's where our money is. It's in financing. Our money comes from the fact that we have money.
Yes.
We aren't a manufacturing country. We're not Thailand. We're not China. We're not the Philippines. We're not Taiwan. So
When
like,
you imagine Americans working, you don't imagine like
yeah, you imagine
factories.
Yeah, you imagine like a fucking service job, like minimum wage, like retail or fast food or some shit, or like higher end like office jobs or something, some sort of management position. You don't really imagine anymore like big car plants because those are all overseas because those countries are going through their process of doing that. Having industrial jobs doesn't mean your country is like successful or industrial like profitable or like whatever the fuck like a prosperous country. It just means that you're building an industry.
Right.
The sign of wealth is when you have the
Does
ability
this
to spend
motherfucker
money.
really call that Liberation Day?
He called it Liberation Day. Yeah, the White House Twitter account was calling it Liberation Day.
Wow.
So uh the
Trump really knows how to suck his own dick.
so they have a the reciprocal tariffs rates here. This is one here is listed by I can list it by trade partner here, but I want to list it. So the tariff rate, trading partner tariff is calculated by White House. Okay, so this is the tariffs that have been placed. The smallest the tariff is 10%. Every single country has at least 10%. Every single country in the world has at least 10% tariff.
Right,
Um,
right.
and the highest is 99% on Lesotho. So fuck Lesotho, I guess.
So on that note, what the fuck did Lesotho do?
Nothing, I guess. I literally don't know why Lesotho is so high,
They're
considering
like,
South Africa is
look,
like 20.
they're a country. Like, if you pull up a map, you know what? I'll actually pull it up on my side.
Yeah. Like I don't know the reasoning behind these. I think it's based on they say
So
they're
here's a map, right?
yeah.
This is South Africa. To give you an idea, this is one time zone. So this is not a massive amount of like area.
No.
This is Lesotho.
It's a
It is
mountain.
a fucking mountain range. It is like if you look at the geography of it, there's a reason like almost nobody fucking lives here. I don't think they are massive exporters to the US
I
either.
don't even know what Lesotho's economy looks like.
I mean, do you know as far as I know, their currency they use is the rand, the South
I
African rand.
mean, it makes
Like they
sense.
don't really do,
You should
and
you really guys should just fucking
nobody.
annex them. Like just come on already.
There's a
Just
reason that they're not part of South Africa,
yeah,
by the
it's
way,
the monarchy,
historically.
the royalty. Made a deal with the
No,
British.
that's they made a deal with the British,
Yeah.
basically saying like, leave us alone, we'll leave you alone, and the British were like,
Yeah.
fine, we got the rest of the fucking rock here
We don't want your
anyway.
fucking mountain.
You deal with the mountains, you assholes. Anyway, like, as somebody who lives in South Africa, do you know how much the topic of Lesotho comes up?
Never.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I
We
mean
don't
like
care.
we no, yeah, no.
We have nothing to say and nothing to add, and Like, there's no talks of even should Lesotho be part of South Africa, because we just don't.
Even
There's
infrastructurally, it's not
every
like it blocks anything because it literally is a mountain range. You couldn't put anything there anyway. Like Bloemfontein to Durban, it's not like you can put a massive road or something in the middle. The road they have there, that's the best road you can get. It's a fucking mountain. It's not like you're blocking anything. It's not like you can put industry there. It's
Yeah,
not like you can put
you take
homes
the
there.
N5, you'd go down the N3, or
Yeah, it's not like there's anything
there's
really
no
being missed.
reason to give a shit. There is
Yeah,
no reason to give a shit.
that's really funny.
So I don't know what America is on, but
I wonder where
more power
Eswatini is.
to them.
Anyway, so back to the tariff. So yeah, Lesotho has the highest tariffs. Saint Pierre and Miquelon, which sounds like some French island.
Equelon.
Miquelon, Miquelon, which is a random island in fucking
Coast of what? What is
Newfoundland,
this?
off the coast of Newfoundland.
I
Yeah, this is an independent country off the coast of Newfoundland, and it has the second highest
and like
tariff.
the 4 people who live there.
Yeah. Oh my god, those
Like,
guys are
even
gonna have the most
Cambodia
expensive
makes
cars
more
ever.
sense.
Yeah, because Cambodia is the second highest, and Cambodia has a huge like industrial, not huge, but it's a growing industrialized country and stuff. Like they make clothes and stuff. Laos makes clothes. Madagascar, I don't know what they do. Vietnam makes a lot of clothes and phones and stuff. Sri Lanka is the same. Myanmar is the same. Randomly, the Falkland Islands.
Falkland
Randomly,
Islands.
fucking Syria gets 81%. A country that I don't even think has any exports.
Their export is news.
Their
War
export,
news.
their export is war journalism.
War journalism.
Mauritius,
Mauritius.
Iraq,
What
Guyana,
you were trying to say, Mauritius.
Mauritius,
Probably,
Serbia,
probably
fucking
can't read.
Serbia. Bill Clinton sneaking his way in here to get Serbia. Botswana, Liechtenstein.
Oh shit. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
Botswana, 74%.
The strongest African economy.
This country doesn't even fucking exist yet. Reunion. I don't think this country exists. This is the country that's going to become independent soon, I thought.
Really?
Yeah, it's a part of France. This country doesn't fucking exist yet. This country is set to become independent very soon. And it's got a tariff on it. How many people live
All
here?
5 people who live on this rock.
There's actually quite a lot of settlements for stuff, like a lot of white. Like, what's it look like to live in Le Tampon?
What the hell?
Tampon. Yeah, I live in the Tampon. Actually, like really pretty here. I wonder who lives
I
here.
mean,
It's their biggest
people.
Saint Denis over here. This looks really developed, actually.
High development.
I mean, this is more developed than you'd expect for a fucking island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. That's kind of crazy, you know.
It feels like their greatest trading partner would be fucking Madagascar.
Yeah.
Like 90% in Madagascar and nobody lives on.
Yeah.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Bosnia. China. Here's China with 67 tariff rate. And the reciprocal tariffs are 30. Oh, wait. I'm thinking I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I think the reciprocal tariffs are what we're supposed to be looking at. Which means China's the highest. I don't know what the fuck these are.
So what was Lesotho then?
I don't know what the fuck. Well, Lesotho, we can find it. Oh, Lesotho is still 50%. Lesotho actually might, because we're actually, yeah, Lesotho still is the highest. It still is the highest.
Lesotho tariffs
and actually,
American stuff at 99%.
It looks like it's basically the same. It looks like it's basically the same. Yeah,
it's actually pretty high.
It looks like it's actually the same. Yeah, so these are all the same.
What Lesotho is on. Probably because they really do just want... Lesotho is probably a country that tariffs everything quite high.
Probably. They're weird. They're a weird little fucking mountain island. Anyway, China. Here's the biggest one. China, a 34% reciprocal tariff on all things coming out of China.
So all your tech's going up, all your
Not even
codes
tech.
are going up.
Everything is going to get expensive. Every building material.
Didn't we have that clip where like the MAGA stuff is made in like
Oh yeah,
East
that
Asia?
was last episode. Yeah,
So all MAGA
with the
stuff's going up.
Murphys, whatever the fuck, drunken Murphys, or whatever the hell their name
Public
is.
Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys, not drunken Murphys. My talent, my Irish American
Or
racism.
Irish American. I mean, you're probably not wrong. Anything with Irish in the front is contains alcohol.
North Macedonia with just you got to get them in there. Angola, Fiji, Taiwan. Taiwan is another big one because that's where a lot of computer chips are
I
made.
don't. By the looks of it, right? I'm looking at these numbers and like the fact that he's labeling these as reciprocal tariffs. I think that this wasn't even thought out on a country by country basis. They basically just looked at like the tariff rate that these countries have and then did some sort of
Yeah,
mathematical
yeah,
calculation. Because if you look,
yeah,
China 67.34, then 65.33, then 63.32,
yeah. There's probably some
62.32.
math they're
They
doing.
threw this into a mathematical equation and went, there, tariffs. Look,
Yeah,
we did the tariff.
Indonesia's another huge one. Moldova's another dumb one. Libya, because we got to make sure that Gaddafi stays dead. Switzerland, Algeria,
Gaddafi,
Nauru. Oh, there it
Gaddafi.
is. South Africa, 60% tariff rate, 30% reciprocal tariff.
Which, you know, is pretty low considering his rhetoric towards South Africa.
Yeah, this is why it's absolutely just a calculation that they did behind the scenes. Because why the fuck does the Norfolk Island get 29% tariff rate? Tunisia, Kazakhstan, India, that's another huge one. South Korea is another huge one. Brunei, Japan's a huge one. Malaysia's a huge one. The EU, there it is. There's the EU. The entirety of the EU gets a 20% tariff, which is another fucking massive, like, Jesus Christ,
Ivory
20%
Coast.
tariff. Yeah, the Ivory Coast. Jordan, Zimbabwe. There's Zimbabwe. Nicaragua, Zambia, Malawi.
Zimbabwe.
They need this tariff, man. It needs to go on Zimbabwe. They're too scary. This is one that really fucking surprised me. Israel had 17%, which is higher than the base rate. So they actually gave Israel a proper tariff, which is really surprising. But also not surprising considering they're all anti-Semites.
Like fucking Mozambique.
Venezuela with all that oil we get. Norway with all the oil. Nigeria, control Chad, the Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Cameroon, Jamaica, Paraguay, Lebanon, Tanzania, Georgia, Senegal, Azerbaijan, Uganda, Albania, Armenia. This is where you get into just all 10% now. These are the ones that are 10%. Apparently, St.
Yeah.
Helena has a 15% tariff on us, though. That's for some reason. Afghanistan has a huge tariff on us, so we don't have a tariff back at them. Yeah, these are very funny. We're fucked. Where's the UK? Because they're not in the EU. Oh, Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine is a 10%. Okay. United Kingdom. They have a 10% because they don't have any tariff on it. Okay. So yeah, this already has some impact on the economy. Because I'm sure
the American economy nosedive after this, or
yeah.
like during this.
So the Dow
speech that he
Jones, which
gave?
is one, yeah. So the Dow Jones, which is one of the big, like stock, like ticker things, or the fuck, dropped by 1,000
Yeah.
points. So if you just want to have that visualized here, this is what the Dow Jones looks like right now.
Well,
yeah,
well.
that's like really, 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 really bad. If we want to look at the Nasdaq, we can see the S&P 500 right here. Boom, that's the S&P 500. They're all crashing. Let's Nasdaq look like right now. There's Nasdaq. Russell 2000. Let's look at Russell 2000. It's also they're all crashing in the same way. but like just slightly different. They're apparently rebounding, but this is not gonna be this is not stable. Like this isn't stable at all. This is bad. They're all
Yeah,
crashing so hard. Uh, but yeah,
it doesn't
no,
matter because like the rich are going to get richer off of
yeah,
this
no. This is
because
yeah.
they knew it was coming.
Yeah, this is absolutely done to have an artificial 2008, like an artificial recession. They wanna crash the economy so everything becomes cheaper to buy up, so they can consolidate their wealth more and more and buy up more companies, more land, more fucking
Yeah,
companies.
this is them. So in theory, if you like, look, this is I'm not an economist. I'm not studied in this shit, but this is essentially the idea of so they fucked the 90%, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The people on the ground. This is them fucking up the top 10% so the top 1% can get richer.
yeah. We've already abandoned the poor people. I wouldn't even say it's the 90%. It's fucking we've abandoned the 99%, and now they're abandoning like the 0.95%, just so the 0.05% can get like even richer. Like 7 people, like a room full of people are about to get like insanely rich.
Yeah.
People we don't even know the names of are about to get insanely rich. People who don't have faces ever posted online, like that fucking South African family that we've
Oh, the
talked about in the past.
Guptas.
Yeah, the Guptas that we've talked about in the past. Where there's like no
No, they're
fucking
pretty public.
yeah, but like I remember their Wikipedia article didn't have any fake photos of them.
Oh, right, yeah. But
Um,
that's also because Wikipedia is like Western media based.
true, true, but they
Because
have
there's
like
tons of pictures in here.
nah.
Like,
Well,
it's not hard to find a picture of any of the Guptas.
then I was wrong then. But you know what I mean. Like there are people out there who we genuinely don't know what they look like, but we know their name because it's on like fucking records and stuff. And it's like, oh, this person's actually like owns a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
when you look at the top 10 richest people in the world, it's like
I think Elon
three
Musk is
people
number
who are
one.
incredibly, yeah, three or four people who are incredibly like out there in the media, and then the bulk of them, as far as I know, is like, who is this?
Yeah,
Oh, they own this company.
but the world's
Who is this?
billionaires. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and then like Larry Ellison, Bernard
Who's
Arnault,
Larry
Arnault.
Ellison? Oh, Oracle, of course.
Yeah, Warren Buffett, Larry Page, Sergey Brin,
So
Sergey,
Larry
Sergey,
Page and Sergey Brin are Google.
Manchio. Yes, Steve
Yes, I know. It
Ballmer.
says on the side. It says on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, we know who these people have. Just, he's a Canadian citizen. What? Is
Yeah,
his
his
mom?
family is from Canada.
Oh, you're right. I don't know why I thought they were British. I guess that
They
makes
were from Canada and they moved to South Africa because South Africa did during that time. So here's what happened, right?
sense. Political party
They
independent.
moved
Yeah,
to
right.
South Africa. They moved to South Africa during the apartheid years because they were so supportive of the South African apartheid regime. Like
Oh
Elon Musk's
man.
Canadian family were people who unironically were like, people should be more like Hitler. Like like not even a
mm.
joke of it. You laugh, but like that, like I'm not even joking.
Oh no, I believe you. I believe you.
His family really were like, there's got to be more Hitlers in the world.
There needs to be more strong Aryan people in the world.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, no, like yeah, there's a lot of people out there who benefit greatly from all that. But the other big news article I want to talk about that is mainly
Before
just
we do move on,
oh okay, yes.
I just will say, side note, I actually watched the interview with Hassan and
Vivian?
Elon's estranged daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet, but I saw a bit snips and bits. How was it? Was it like pretty good?
So for the most part, they don't talk about Elon because,
I think that's good.
well, I mean, she really just fucking doesn't like Elon Musk. Like, she does not like her father.
Yeah,
Which, hey,
yeah.
I mean, you know, she's
I don't like her
her
father
father,
either.
but like the way she reacts to some of the stuff is like you can very much see that this is personal. She's not a media person. She's not a celebrity. She's not out there like launching clothing lines and stuff. She's
Yeah,
supposed to like do her studies and live life.
I'm
But
sure that
what was
like
really
you continue. I'll say my point after.
what was really sort of like, I guess the parts that were intriguing was when she was talking about like just how he was as a person behind the scenes,
Right.
and like him begging like her and her siblings to play Overwatch with him
Yes.
so that they could carry
Yeah.
him
It's
being
so
incredibly bad at
funny.
Overwatch.
Which like if he was a good father would be really endearing and like aw he wants to play the games with his kids because he knows that like they're really good and wants but no he's doing it because of his own ego because he's
Yeah,
a fucking
that
man
pretty much.
baby. Oh my god. I was just gonna say though, I'm sure it's very nice for her to be able to have an interview with someone who isn't like as you said they didn't talk about Musk a lot. Like it'd be nice to like have
Yeah,
her
they talked to they spoke
like
about like what she's into,
like
like,
talk
oh,
about
you
her, you
know,
know? I'm sure that's
yeah,
nice.
like
I'm sure
what
she appreciated
studies
that.
did she do, like
Yeah.
what TV shows she's into. It also made me realize that like, boy, as big as Hassan is in the popular media and culture, motherfucker's uncultured as fuck. Like just in he's not tapped into things that you in a way that
What do
you
you
think.
mean?
Like he's not
What
he like
was
he doesn't know major television shows at
what
all.
was there one in particular that got you going like what the fuck, Hassan?
Like like he'd never heard of this one TV show, like Yellow Jackets.
I don't know it either, so
Yeah, but you've heard of Yellow Jackets.
no.
I
I
okay,
haven't.
well, you're not tapped in either.
I'm not tapped
This
into
is
the
something to
culture.
know.
Yeah, I'm
But
not.
I've heard of Yellow Jackets. It's
Yeah.
not Game of Thrones, but it's a TV show that exists, and he's just like, "What the fuck is that?"
I
It
think
just made me realize, like,
very relatable to me. Then I gotta start watching Hassan again so I could get. I remember. For me, like the most up to date show that I think I can name that I'm like I know people like is like The Bear, and I think people don't like The Bear anymore.
uh,
All right, but yeah, I'll have to watch that interview. I'll have to watch that interview. Um,
it's very chill.
yeah, it'll be because I've been looking for some things to listen to at like work and stuff. So I mean, like if I need something, I'll throw it on. Yeah. Anyway, so this is something. This next story is something that I was actually really worried about myself. But it's the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So there was an election to get a new judge onto the Supreme Court in Wisconsin, and if it was a Republican, the Supreme Court would have gone to a Republican control, which would basically mean that Wisconsin,
Republican majority,
yeah,
yeah, it would go more red.
it would be lost forever. It would be gerrymandered to fuck. It would be like turned into another fucking like deep south red state, right? And Elon Musk put hold on, let me actually I should have brought this up too. Billionaire
It's pretty weird to me
donations
because, as
to
far as I know, the
Supreme.
biggest media I am aware of that centers around Wisconsin is That 70s Show, which is a TV show about a bunch of teenagers smoking weed in a basement.
Wisconsin's a weird state. There's a lot to say about it. I wanted like there was a graph I saw that had compared all the billionaires influence into the election and Elon Musk was like it was like the bar was this long with my highlight being the bar and then like this was the bar of the next person in line. And it was another Republican. So it was a graph that looked like that. But as you can see, it didn't fucking matter. Every county went more blue than it had in the past. and the Democratic judge wound up winning. Um, so like this graph is insane if you know Wisconsin's history, because Wisconsin is where people like Joe McCarthy are from. Wisconsin is an incredibly wild state politically. Like the RNC last year was held in Milwaukee. I'm pretty sure. I think it was held in Milwaukee. So like, there's a lot of Republican strongholdness in Wisconsin. For context of where this is in the country, it's it's like North Midwest. It's like in between Michigan and Minnesota, and yeah, like places all like these like fucking middle of nowhere backwater shithole places. Uh, Super Republican, super Republican. So these going all blue is kind of fucking insane. Whereas they didn't like go completely blue, but they were more Dem than more Republican. There's not a single red arrow here.
The thing
Um,
is that this is just a rejection of Musk.
exactly. It pretty much is, which is a good thing, but also kind of like a worrying thing because to me, getting rid of Elon Musk is a good thing in general. But the accelerationist part of me wants Trump to hold on to Elon Musk as long as possible so that Trump also gets his favorability tanked by having Elon Musk always around. And if he gets rid of Elon Musk, I'm worried that they'll like look at Trump being like, look at, they got the guy out of there and all that. So like that's a worrying
Yeah,
thing
but
for
right
me.
now the focus on Musk. Yeah, Musk is awful and all that.
Yeah.
But as soon as Musk stands next to Trump, everything Musk says gets that Trump stamp of approval.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an association that they can't really shake off, but I'm just still worried that like,
And every fuck up
yeah.
then gets pointed at Musk.
Hmm.
But without Musk there, the fuck ups would fall on Trump. If you get my meaning.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a part of it, but I don't like it would depend on where actions go from here because there'll still be fuck ups. Like they're still doing the tariffs. That's independent of Elon. There's still like antagonism with other countries, which is the Elon thing really is just like Doge. But Doge's actions will still continue without Elon. It'll just be government cuts and stuff instead of it being done through Doge. Plus, I mean, if it leads to an
Yeah,
Elon
but if
Musk
you
complete crash
really
out,
believe that Musk has no input or say about the things like the tariffs and things that are away from Doge, like Musk has more influence than just
yeah,
Doge.
I know, but I don't think like without him the tariffs wouldn't have happened. Is basically what I'm saying, right? Like him
Yeah,
leaving won't change stuff like that. Might change like specific targets of like things, and might change like he's not gonna be over there with a chainsaw up on the fucking stage and all that and doing all that shit. There'll probably be less fucking harassment towards South Africa and stuff, but like largely I think the administration would be doing everything it's doing in terms of international politics without Elon. That's
fucking cheesehead.
you fucking cheesehead.
Where's a picture of him with a cheese on his head? Bring that up.
So the cheesehead's like a huge thing in Wisconsin. And he was
Yeah,
doing, yeah. So
what an idiot.
my grandfather had a cheese hat and I'd always wear it. I don't he's not from Wisconsin. I don't know why he fucking had the hat. It reminds me of Patton, you know?
The General Patton thing
Like the movie.
with him standing in front of the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite like rip on this is
Is
when
the
Dennis
song. Yeah, the
Leary did
Dennis
it.
Leary song. Like, yeah, when he does his little song and goes in front of it. That song is great. Um yeah,
That song was made in the early '90s and yet is more relevant today than it was then.
Did you know, speaking of Patton, that Nixon's favorite movie was Patton? I thought
Makes sense.
I thought that's a little fun fact. But yeah, one of the Republican judges here also lost her mind, saying that like this is the Democrats. They paid for this election. They paid for her to get in power, and now they're gonna be ruining the state. I don't want to work alongside this Democrat plant. Meanwhile, you have like the other guy who's like, yeah, I support raping my daughter. I exaggerate a bit, but he literally said like I support like traumatizing my 9-year-old daughter. Uh, yeah, I think it's this. Maybe has it said. I forget his fucking name. Yeah, I can't find it. But I remember seeing an article with that. But more importantly than that, Anseri texted me back, so we're gonna set up to get her in here.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means we have to switch over and just to do some stuff. Well, this will be like a quick transition here for all of us, for all you watching at home. So like in like three, on the count of three, Anseri will be here, and it'll be like a bird.
Make her appear.
Spadooshie book. No, that's not a. I give up. Just here she is. Welcome back with Anseri. Say something. Ooh.
Hello.
Hello. We have
How's it going?
half into the episode special guest who was supposed to be here from the start that I forgot about.
Is anybody screen sharing?
Oh yes, I was, and I now have to bring that back up. We were both screen sharing.
We
So
are
yeah,
back.
we are now officially, yeah, we're back. Anseri's here. I forgot about her, but now she's here.
So I will
Yeah.
say, now that Anseri's here as well, she can hear it. But you know what news story I'm seeing pop up more and more often?
Yeah.
Ex-MAGA head, now sour and against Trump.
Yeah, that's like every day. But they'll
Like,
still be like,
I'm
I'll
just
vote him.
seeing it like quite often now. Like there was one where the woman was like, I was a MAGA addict, and
Mad addict.
you know, then I got fired from my federal job,
Yeah, that
and now
one's.
I'm like really sour.
I've
Fuck
been seeing
Trump.
that one since like early February and shit, man. They're like
I
they're like
know, but
dropping
I'm
like
saying it
flies.
like
No. I'm saying like this
it's
in support of
gaining
you.
more traction.
Yeah. It's like kicking up like a fucking snow rolling down a hill. It's really funny.
Have you guys already talked about the new tariffs that are
Yeah,
gonna crash the U.S. economy?
that was the first
Yeah,
one
what are
we
your
talked
thoughts?
about. Yeah,
What are your
what do
thoughts?
you
My
think?
thoughts are this is a great time to divest from the U.S. economy and invest in foreign markets and stuff.
There
That's
wasn't
my
even a meme in that one. That one was just genuine. I was
yeah,
expecting
It
a
is
meme.
real.
I was
like
expecting a meme.
everything's. You get less profit if you invest in the U.S. because the government's gonna take all your money away. If you invest in foreign markets, you don't have to pay those tariffs
What
at
foreign
all because
markets?
they're not
What foreign markets
like
would you recommend?
literally any other country other than the U.S.
What about the penguins?
Invest in Lesotho.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Falkland Island penguins?
The
Do
Falkland
you know what?
Islands. Yes.
And Sari, do you want to hear something quite
Yes.
strange that we realized during that whole tariff thing?
Mhm.
Lesotho has 99% tariffs against the US.
And now the US has
Mhm.
50% tariffs against them.
Wow.
So the
That's
Lesotho
funny.
is the highest reciprocal tariff.
Mhm.
But just
Fuck Lesotho.
Lesotho is a mountain range
It's
in like the middle of
yeah.
South Africa, and like you did the map, you know where it is. You
Mhm.
know what it is. What? Like, do
By
you
the
have
way,
any thought?
you mentioned the Falkland Islands having penguins. I'm pretty sure it's a different island that has penguins because if I recall correctly, the Falkland Islands is just a place that has more sheep than people, and it's like a province in Canada.
No, that's
It's like
Newfoundland
a
or Prince Edward Island. Falkland
oh yeah,
Islands is the
Prince
one
Edward.
is the Falkland Islands is the one that has more penguins than people, and it's by Argentina.
Yeah.
That's the one that they
Okay.
invaded in the 80s after Argentina
Mhm.
invaded and then Britain invaded.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So the tariffs went out. We also talked about the Wisconsin Supreme Court race.
What's the tariffs on the sheep on Sheep Island?
100%. We don't want your fucking wool,
Wow.
you stupid motherfuckers.
Lamar.
uh,
Well, that's funny because they only like they don't even do they even export the sheep to the U.S. or do they just export it to like neighboring Canada?
they probably export to
On
Canada,
the-
and then Canada exports to the U.S.
Mhm.
That's probably how it goes. Makes the most sense. Considering that
Sure.
Prince Edward Island is in Canada. Unless you're talking about, like, that one French island that we looked at that's, like, the second highest reciprocal tariff rate.
Mhm.
Oh my god. This country's a
I
fucking
can't
joke.
I can't believe this country is losing a trade war to penguins.
It's insane.
Sheep farming penguins. That's funny.
We're losing to fucking penguins.
Well, I guess I know where I'm gonna invest all my money, Prince Edward Island, so the penguins can farm sheep better. And I can get some of that tasty wool money.
Anseridae, the wool baroness.
Mhm.
Like the modern day Rockefeller, but for wool.
Yeah. Mhm.
Some real Babylonian monopoly going on.
Mhm.
Anyway, the now that Anseri is here, they can join us for this next conversation, which was gonna be on
video games.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Not there yet.
Cory Booker.
Mm.
We're talking about Cory Booker doing the
He broke
longest,
the record for the filibuster.
not even filibuster, just speech in general in like American history. I'm pretty sure. At least in Senate. He broke the longest Senate speech ever, and it was a filibuster.
Yeah, the longest filibuster ever, which was, I think he broke like 150 hours. Do you know what stuck out to me?
No,
from that?
it was 20. He did 25 hours, not 150. Jesus.
You know what?
I don't know.
You know what my opinion on Cory Booker is? Before he did the filibuster, I didn't know who he was.
He's my senator. I've been paying attention to
Now
him
I
for a
know him
while.
as the guy who did the filibuster, Lamau.
Jade, what's your opinion on it?
So what stuck out to me was the prep he did beforehand, which was like, so during that whole thing, like you can't leave the Senate floor,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So you can't go to the bathroom, you can't any of that.
Mhm.
So his part of his prep was he had been doing a fast for like 4 days before that.
Right.
And then like the day before, he also stopped drinking like water and everything.
Oh.
Which means that during that speech,
Allah's
his
strongest
body
soldier.
was screaming at him the entire fucking time.
I've done that a lot too, where I like fasted for 3 days and then didn't drink anything.
Muslim
but that was
Anseri.
usually over doing like the when we were doing like the road trip from Minnesota to Florida, because like we couldn't like stop or anything. Lamau.
Yeah, you said that was
So-
like when you almost died.
Yeah, I almost died like 5 times on the way, and then like I passed out in the shower at Florida like 5 times too.
Oh
Lamau.
god.
My god. It's fucking insane. But yeah.
Then when we moved from Florida to Washington, we just took a plane.
It's so smart. But yeah, he took the record from someone who had the speech for 24 hours, which was also a filibuster. But this one was done by Strom Thurmond. Look at Strom Thurmond. He's a South Carolinian senator. He held it for 24 hours when he was blocking a civil rights bill. And do you want to know how long he was in office for? I'll give you some retrospective here. He ran for presidency in 1944 and then died in 2003. He lived to be 100 years old. And he died in office. This motherfucker died at 100 years old in office. Democrats never want to remove. He was a Democrat. He was a Dixiecrat. So he was before he joined the Republicans at some point in apparently in 48 as a Dixiecrat candidate in opposition to Harry Truman. Oh, he won in 48, not 44. 48, my bad.
Guy is so old that he's literally like several orders of magnitude older than the Civil War. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Fuck is this? Okay then. Look at it. Look at this. What a fucking
What a
piece of
face.
shit. Anyway, Cory Booker took that record. There's some highlights here. Here's him from the beginning. I want to see. I think it was hour 24 that he had like the part that I really liked.
For them or their re-election.
Or it's not here.
And say enough is enough.
It's 22. This is it.
Stand up and say enough.
This was the part that got pushed on everywhere.
Power. This is.
I hate this video player so much. This is awful. Look at this. If I tried to fucking do this, it just fucking.
Well, how the fuck did they mess that up? To ChatGPT make this website?
Stock market's down.
Probably.
Risk of recession is climbing. Consumer
I can't make it any louder than this.
How the fuck do you link the?
Hold on. I can't make it any louder, so they need to be quiet for a second.
I can. I'm willing to go to some lengths. But I am inadequate. You are inadequate. We're senators with all of this power. But
I'm
in this
inadequate.
democracy, the power of the people is greater than the people in power. This is a moral moment that more Americans need to stand up and say enough is enough. Moment where
I don't think that was it, but there was a moment where he was saying that he and the rest of the Democrats failed the country, and I wanted to find that moment, but I don't think it's in that little clip. But yeah, he said a lot of great stuff up there. A lot of like, we will do better is here. Like a lot of call to action stuff, like pretty good. Like it's Cory Booker is one of the only senators in the country who actually gives a shit about being a senator, right? Like people like Mitch McConnell or Chuck Schumer are pieces of shit who only do it so that they make money and that their donors make money. That's why they do politics. Cory Booker, to me, seems like a guy who genuinely cares about the democratic process. He genuinely cares about the democratic system. There's a YouTube channel on the internet, on YouTube, called Mr. Beat, not Beast, Beat. He's a history teacher from like the Midwest, and he makes big history videos. He's a pretty big channel, and he had a video series where he called every single U.S. House representative, and then he called every single senator. And the only senator to call him back and leave a personalized message was Cory Booker. Even though he's not a New Jersey resident, Cory Booker still responded to him and was like, "Hey, dude, you're doing good." Yeah, it's a really good video. And he's like, dude, you're doing a good thing. You're showing people."
In theory, obviously not in practice, but in theory, what I hear a lot, like, obviously I don't live in the US, but there's a lot of times where I see people have these calls to action where they're like, contact your governor, contact your senator, write a letter, like shit like that.
Yeah.
That never goes anywhere.
No, it does.
It doesn't, like...
The point of it, I mean, the point of it is the real way it works is when you do physical mail, because then you just get swamps and swamps of papers telling you to fuck off. That does change people's votes. That does, like in Congress and stuff, that does change senators' votes when they have piles and piles and piles of people saying we're not going to elect you again. Because with emails, it can kind of work. But basically, the reason is if you don't do this, we're not going to elect you again. You're just fucked. And that's what actually does the vote changing, right? Not the appeal to emotions, the appeal to power, like the appeal to like your position in power. Like your power is only hinging on us liking you. So if you don't do this bill, we're not going to elect you again. Fuck you, right? We're going to primary your ass is basically what the threat is.
Yo, Riley, quick question.
Yeah.
Can you do like inspect element on that video player on the player bar?
What's the command for inspect element again?
Right click inspect element.
Oh, all right.
Right click inspect.
Not on the video.
Yeah. So in that div, I'm betting that there's like a tag on the fucking video bar. Like if you uncollapse that div, I'm like on the video bar that like links.
Like if you scroll and mouse over the video bar.
When you try to change the timestamp, I bet they're fucking they just have the tag.
look, all right. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Swiping the fucking video. That's what I'm guessing. Either that or they're doing it through JavaScript.
What the fuck am I doing
In that
here?
case, it's even more cursed, because how the fuck do you fuck that up, Lamau?
I felt like I was gaping in between a hole in realities. I never want to open up that again.
I used to do web development, and a rookie mistake like this would be like, how like, I'd expect a rookie mistake like having the fucking like scroll or like video bar move when you scroll through the thing, like move the window or whatever while you're trying to like scrub through the video. That's like a rookie mistake, right? That's like a day one thing.
Well, I hope the AP programmer for that got fired for that blunder.
You're fucking coding and web development, Lamau.
But yeah, I wanted to wrap this up by saying Cory Booker is the most hopeful I am for a politician that I already don't love. Like, that's obviously AOC and Bernie. Like, I like them already, and I think AOC can go far. But Cory Booker, I feel, has a lot of potential to move into a good position as like a viable candidate for something, whether he runs for governor at some point. He's not running for governor this election at the end of this year in New Jersey, but like, if he fucking runs for president and like if he builds up a base from this and keeps going and tries to get national attention, I think he's like he's better than a lot of other people when it comes to presidential candidacy, because he actually cares, and all he has to do is just basically
he feels
get that attitude
like
going.
Who the Democrats would most likely front, whereas a candidate like AOC feels like they'd fit more in like an independent role.
Yeah, definitely. AOC is not the usual Democrat. Cory Booker is a good Democrat. That's the thing. He's a good Democrat. AOC is a good independent like politician sort of thing. She's a good democratic socialist.
She's now inextricably linked with Bernie.
Yeah. With their current campaign they're going around with. Which
really does point out another thing, which is the Democratic Party is splitting in two.
Yeah. It's definitely a split right now between the old fucks like Schumer and stuff and the newer progressives like AOC and Cory Booker. There's a bunch of other ones. Our other senator, Andy Kim, is also pretty progressive. He just got elected. But yeah, there's definitely a split right now between honestly, it's more leaning towards the progressive end. It's just that a lot of the people in the positions of Democrat leadership are those old conservative Democrats. But a lot of House reps, a lot of local Democrats, they fucking hate Chuck Schumer. A lot of newer senators, they fucking hate Chuck Schumer. They hate the old guard of Democrats.
Didn't he openly stab the fucking Democratic Party?
Yes, we talked about that several episodes ago with the funding bill. Yeah, he got 8 Democrats to go and vote against the Democratic interest because it's it's gotta have the business flow through as usual. He's a piece of shit, and the real test of a Democrat is to see whether or not they hate Chuck Schumer or not at this point. Someone like fucking John Fetterman, fucking piece of shit. And you know what? He's one of those people. He's one of those people that voted. No, but he's bought out by AIPAC. That's what he is. He's bought out by conservative political action committee, whatever the fuck the C stands for. He's bought out by a bunch of conservative PACs, including AIPAC, and he's just literally a stooge for whatever the fuck they want, and typically that's voting for Republican stuff.
He's somebody who is a Democrat in name only.
Yeah, we need to do Rhino, but instead it's Dino.
He is 100% a Republican.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I've been noticing a lot when I'm in my courses and stuff is that a lot of people, my college courses, there's the terms that get brought up that kind of make me feel like it's cope, but calling people conservative Democrats and liberal Republicans and stuff, that's something that my professors have been saying a lot. Particularly my American history professor has been saying that a lot as a valid thing. And that existed in the 60s, but saying today that there are conservative Democrats, no, they're just conservatives Democrats, people like John Fetterman. But then I don't know, it's a thing that's been bothering me recently, and I feel that I don't know why I brought it up.
All those
tangent.
titles are
That was a tangent.
meaningless.
Yeah. It's all a byproduct of the fact that we live in a two-party system and not like a functioning democracy.
Have you seen the new fucking Discord grass touching game?
Yeah, I actually beat it.
Yeah, it's like so uncreative as fuck. Like, if I were to make that game, I'd over-engineer the shit out of it. Like, it'd be physics-based grass where you would like drag your mouse cursor through it
I was a little
to touch the
disappointed.
grass rather than clicking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, there's only like one variety of grass in their fucking grass game. Where like in real life, there's like millions of varieties of grass. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, I know you know your
Let
grass.
me just quickly Google how many grass.
Hold on. There was the
many
thing about that Discord grass touching game that annoyed me was that they had so many like digits in that counter, and then you only get to go up to 5 digits, and it's like, well, then it ends. Then there's nothing to unlock after that. It's like, well, why'd you add so many if you're just not gonna do that?
There's like 13,000 grass.
13,000 grass makes sense considering it's all over the planet.
Yeah. 13,000 different types of grass at least. Like I like remember when I did like those grass drawings, right? And I literally took hundreds of pictures of the different kinds of varieties of grass in my backyard, and there were like over 100 different types of like fucking patches of grass just in my backyard. And then like when I walked up the street, there's like more grass. And then my neighbors, they fucking get grass from Home Depot. They get like fucking a bunch of different varieties of grass. So like they have like several like weird purple colored grasses and shit. Like they have like fucking big grass, like
crabgrass.
The weird colored ones.
What's that really pointy grass that fucking hurts whenever you touch it? That like the razor grass shit. What is that? Because like it grows in my yard sometimes and it's fucking evil.
Is it like the one that's the one with like the thorns kind of?
I don't know, but like whenever I step on it, my fucking feet go like they get stabbed by like knives.
I forgot what it's called, but like I used to have that a lot in Minnesota, but I don't know if like because of climate change they got softer or if my feet just got
sharp edges
from
sword grass. That doesn't seem correct. It's like really. Oh, this looks. What'd you say?
Zoysia grass? Like
no, I don't think it's that.
It has like leaves and shit that are flat, and they have spikes in the leaves.
What, like perennial ryegrass?
Maybe. It looks like this. This is what it looks like. At least I think that's what I'm talking about. This stuff. I step on this shit all this type of shit.
I thought you were talking about like thistle or something.
No. It's like small. It's like this type of shit. I step on it in my lawn all the time, and it's fucking evil.
Let me share my screen, I guess.
Kentucky bluegrass.
Kentucky bluegrass. Well, I can't really. We only focus on Jade's.
Okay, this is what I thought you were talking about. This spiky weed here.
No. Those don't really grow here.
Yeah, I had these in like Minnesota. And like as I grew up, they stopped spiking me in the foot. Basically,
they knew to respect you.
I could like walk all over these without getting holes in my feet now. Lamau.
Forest goddess Anseridae.
I am not a fan of grass. Honestly, what I prefer is like ground cover.
Ground cover? Like what?
Like have you seen my pictures of grass?
Yes.
Folder. Yeah. Over 100 pictures of grass.
Do you mean like a ground cover of like just like a tarp or something, or do you mean like?
No, like this is like.
I think I have a picture in my head of what you mean, but I don't know what
they're more closely related to kinds of moss than they are like. Grass.
I think I know what you're trying to talk about, but I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, if I made like a grass touching game, I would have like a physics-based thing where you would drag your mouse cursor through it, and there would literally be thousands of varieties of grass. And then, like, if you click on it, it would pull up like a grass fact and shit. So, like, I would over-engineer the living shit out of that. 'Cause
What
that
if you
sounds like
were
an awesome-
grass?
Do you mean like that D&D campaign idea where like we all played as like a patch of grass?
Sure. I guess I don't know.
That's why I still have that
Like here's a
thing.
random article, like stuff like this, like Creeping
Right.
Time.
Yes, this
or
type of stuff.
Dwarf Mondo, or
They're very cute.
like
Moss, this general moss.
they generally they're much softer than grass in general. A lot of them
Yeah, I
they
prefer
smell
these to grass
better.
too.
Like grass just has a very specific feel and touch, and I don't know. I prefer those types of ground covers.
Those are better when you're barefoot. For sure.
Mm.
Like almost always. Like if I want to walk through like some fucking Garden of Eve shit. Garden of Eden, not Garden of Eve, Garden of Eden shit. I want it to be like a ground covering like that.
You know, like this. This
Yes.
is very nice, soft on the feet.
Yes, and it's like when it's like freshly rained and it's like a little wet and stuff. Very nice.
Like this is
Clovers and
I feel like
stuff.
so much nicer than just like grass.
Man,
Yeah.
I want to live in a
I
nice.
remember like one of my
nice nature
neighbors
house.
had that kind of ground cover where it's like this type of grass. Is like walking on like spongy carpet. It was awesome.
Hold on, I gotta
Yeah.
show you. So when I was growing up, instead of having grass in our house, we had fucking rocks.
Wow.
Our backyard was rocks because like it kind of looked like this, except with more but more of a reason to have it like this. This is just like evil. So like this is some Florida shit, but our backyard was on the water, like on like a lagoon, so it wasn't natural. Like we were dredged up land, so it was more like cost effective to have rocks in the backyard instead of grass, because rocks don't need to be maintained. But it basically meant you could never go outside in the backyard without shoes on.
My mom had like rocks and stuff instead of grass in her backyard.
Riley, look on my screen. I have my old
No, you're fucking waiting to jump scare me. And Sari worked in combat.
look at this. My old different types of grass.
Can I
So,
ask
like,
a
this
question,
is, like-
Sari? Real quick.
What
How do you keep the layers known on what the fuck is it called? I can't remember the name. The Krita, because you have the layers there on an old art project. But whenever I try to do that, all the layers are gone, and it's just all one image.
When you save, do you do file save?
I do
Or
save
file
as.
Save as. Is it a .krita?
No, I do dot.
That's why.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the simple answer. You've saved it as a product outside of the
What did you save it as? A
program.
PNG?
PNG, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why a PNG is not a multi-layered. A PNG is a static image.
I
When I
thought
do
because the
PNG
PNG
when I
was
want
able to store more
PNGs
metadata that it would store that data. Also, and sorry, every single time I open that up, I gotta censor that. Like, I guess I don't have to censor it, but there was an art labeled nude art.
Yeah, that work in progress thing, Lamau.
You don't pull it up. I gotta edit that out. Don't pull it up.
It's just like an outline I did many years ago.
Well, don't stop doing your fucking folders. I'm closing your stream.
What about this? What do you think of this?
I'm closing your stream's closed. You're not gonna have to make me do more editing.
I didn't even draw the penis
It's not
yet.
even. It's not even
Well, I did, but
lewd
like,
or anything. It's not lewd. You can.
I don't
open
know
it
what
that
else
way.
is there. I don't know what else is there though.
There's nothing lewd.
it's not
with
even like the
Anseridae
human
stuff.
shape. It's not even. Like, it's just like part of an outline.
They
It's not
look
even-
like they look like earthworms, Riley. Just don't be scared.
Yeah.
It's not nude. What the fuck is that?
That's my first attempt at drawing people in my new art style.
I like it a lot. It reminds me of some like old web comics and stuff. also
Yeah.
terrifying though. Like if Ed's
I
world
like
was
it.
of Lovecraftian horror.
Mm.
I like it.
Mm.
Ed's world Lovecraftian horror.
I also drew this.
Oh god damn it! I have to open that back up. This is like
Drew this a
torture.
while ago.
Oh yes, I
Well, now-
was in call when you drew this.
Yeah, I drew it in like 5 minutes. Cause
All right, let's get on to the next
I
segment.
love Anseri's art style.
It's
what do
really.
you think of this?
Oh my god! I just fucking closed your stream again. Oh my god.
You don't need to keep reloading it if you just keep it loaded.
Yeah, the little eyeball.
Yeah, but I'm only focusing on
There we
one at a
go.
time here. Anyway, let's fucking move on to the next segment of the podcast. Stop! No! Switch to. Fuck! Switch to. Fuck! Switch to. Switch to.
The unaffordable edition.
The Switch 2 Direct. There's a lot to talk about with the Switch 2 Direct because there's a lot of games that got announced and stuff. There's a lot of things they showed off. First of all, the console's coming out in June, which is really soon. I thought it would come out at the end of the year, but it's coming out like in fucking 2 months. So that's kind of
Before
crazy.
we dive into that,
Yes.
The fucking Switch 2 costs more than my life savings.
we can keep this up. But Anseri,
Mhm.
since you weren't on the podcast when we really dove into this before, but where do you stand on Nintendo? You're
They
an
like-
indie dev. Like, where do you stand on them?
They fucking pull they like sell a bunch of overpriced shit, and then like they stifle innovation because they have a bunch of patents that you're like not allowed to. Like,
Yes!
iterate on.
Anseri stands with me on Nintendo.
I hate the
Fuck
both of you
Nintendo.
so much.
Nintendo,
Hold on.
I hope they go bankrupt soon.
People keep complaining about the Switch costing $450. The fucking PS5 and shit costs like $1,000. Like, and like, it's.
Well,
it's
the
a-
PS5 isn't a like fucking handheld thing, right? You should.
but this is
compare
a
it to the
it's a
Switch.
it's not a handheld though. It's a console.
The PS5 is a computer.
They're all computers. It's a video game
No, but,
console is a
like,
computer.
They are now. They never used to be, but
They were
are
always
now
computers.
just
They do
computers.
computations. They're computers. They
They're
compute.
PC desktops.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Bad operating systems.
Joe Riley, have you seen my comic? This is the first like 4-panel comic strip that I've
stop
kind of
fucking
made.
keeping that. Yes, I was here for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I even bother clicking on that again? I can't. You're both bullying me. Let's just fucking cover the Switch 2. So,
Okay.
no more distractions. Let's cover the
Real
Switch 2.
innovation did they make with the Switch 2?
They have
What
they have a
real
Discord ripoff.
innovation?
They have a Discord ripoff.
Through clearly, letting you chat with ease.
You can have Discord without a mic.
Okay, nice.
You and
Look at
turn
this.
on game screen sharing.
Good job. There we go.
You can also
This
share
looks
your
like
game
ass.
screen.
Look at this choppy in the photo. So, the Switch 2's main big selling points is that the controllers act as mouses, so that you can use them like a mouse.
Mises.
Mices. They work like mice.
Mises.
The screen's got a bigger resolution. It's a 4K console and all that. All the fancy stuff. It's got a better battery life, better storage. Like the general upgrades to a console. Which is like fair, you know? Like there's nothing innovative coming here, but it's also not like a fucking $900 console, so it's not that bad. It's an upgrade to the Switch. It's $100 more than the Switch. It's an upgrade to it. Plus, the high expense is only an issue in America because of fucking tariffs. It's an affordable price. It's closer to Switch 1 price in Japan. It's a fucking America thing.
It probably has a decent price.
Have
here,
you
too.
seen what they're charging for games?
Okay,
and
that's the
fucking
other thing.
controllers?
You know how expensive video games used to be in the 90s?
Mhm.
They used to be $60 in 90s currency.
Yes,
You
but
know
they were
what,
also physical media.
Have you ever played what's it called?
But there's still physical media today. The games that people are complaining about,
Was
they're
it called
priced
Monkey
more.
Island?
Monkey Island? Yeah, but what about Monkey
Yeah.
Island?
The quote.
The quote, what?
The quote from the end of Monkey Island.
I don't know what
If
you're
you go
talking
to like
about.
images, you'll find it.
I don't think I
think.
will. It
Okay,
don't-
I'll put it up.
Just it's always staring at me every time I close.
Monkey- Monkey. All right.
I'm just gonna fucking.
Monkey Island. Never. And then I just Google the quote.
At least I'm
I
not.
spelled that right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, this one.
How to deal with frustration, disappointment, irritation, and
Yeah.
cynicism. It's not the size of a ship. Never pay more than $20 for a computer game.
That's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, but people are complaining about the Switch game pricing and like 90s currency to now. Let's like inflation calculator from thank you Minneapolis. So in 1996, the year the N64 came out, a $60 game in 2020. Oh, well, we do 2024 here is $120. So if you wanted to buy Mario 64 and the year it came out, it was $120 to do so. And now if you want to buy, like people want games to be $60 now, that's half the price as Mario 64 was for like what people want GTA 6 to be priced. And GTA 6 is a game that's been in development for 10 years with like the blood, sweat, and tears of fucking like a million Rockstar employees that are overworked. Right? It's consumerist brain. It is the same people who want clothes to be $3. It is the same people who use fucking like Temu and Shein. It's the same mindset that leads into that. If you want something to be nice, you can't have it cheap. Cheap things aren't like you can't have everything be affordable, otherwise the fucking world doesn't run. Like it's not healthcare we're talking about. It's a fucking video game console. It's a video game console, it's not healthcare.
That's a cracked fucking statement.
It's not a cracked statement. It's fucking wanting everything to be fucking like $60 video games is American brained fucking treatler behavior.
What do you think of like indie games that are cheap and stuff?
Indie games are a different field because indie games are independently made. They're made by people who can set their own pricing however the fuck they want to. I would support an indie game dev who wants their game to be 60 fucking bucks. I support that. That's fine. But for a company can't. Consoles are sold at a loss. Games are sold at a loss. They can't sell that shit.
But what do you think of the quality of indie games versus AAA games?
That's a different story. When a game like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 releases at full price, and then you have to pay like fucking 8 subscription passes or a fucking year for Call of Duty or some shit, that's fucking ridiculous. But an indie game coming out with like all its content released and it's like $5, that's fucking perfect. Go buy that shit. That's awesome.
Yeah,
right?
So there's this quote in the development world where like I think it was like back when Agile was a thing or something. Like I think it was like when Google was starting out or something. Like I think it was like Ask Jeeves or something, asked them like how are you out competing us? We have like 8 billion developers and you guys only have 10. And they're like, it's because we only have 10.
Yeah.
And you're managing like 1 million of them.
Because you know what made Google as successful as it was during its like beginning period?
Mm-hmm.
Like what was the thing that made Google as successful as it is today? It's the fact that every other search engine, when you went to their front page, the search page, there was a whole bunch of ads, there was articles, there was everything going on the screen. And when you went to Google, all they had was the search bar.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
And then their development strategy was like, we'll just have a small team of like specialized people or whatever and not have to deal with managing hundreds of thousands of people and like inflating costs. Now, if you there's kind of parallels to like indie games versus AAA games there, because like I often see like a lot of indie games will have higher quality than a lot of AAA games as well for like the same reason. Pretty much, it's like
it's the too many cooks thing, right? Like,
it's like too many like man hours or whatever, too many men per hour or whatever.
It's because you have a team of people working on one thing and then another team of people working on another portion and another team of people working on another portion, and they're not communicating with each other directly because there's too much. So what you get is like what happened with Deus Ex, the Deus Ex game, the reboot one that came out. I forget what it's called. If it was Human Revolution or something like that. But essentially, they had to outsource the boss fights, so you could do the entire game in a pacifist run. But then the boss fights were made by a different team, and they didn't have a pacifist option. So it's that idea that you're splitting your development groups so wide that there's no cohesion. It loses cohesion in its presentation, and it's really just awful for a gaming experience.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I forget. I think I was trying to make a point about like the expectation of like the AAA game and how like what you're paying for and what you get and all that, because like we got really off the point with what I was trying
Oh
to
right,
say.
yeah. I just remembered what I was gonna say about that as well. So like you know how like lots of AAA games they try to focus on realistic graphics that like your computer can't run
Yeah,
because they don't know how to optimize
and that's
anything.
where a lot of the money
Like
goes.
yeah, like you need to buy a new computer every time you get a new
Yeah,
AAA game. And
yeah,
like indie games because they can't like make realistic graphics because that takes too much time. They don't have teams of like hundreds of people. Instead, they just work on stylized, like simple graphics that are like really nice to look at and stylized and run really, really well on your computer. And so, like the result is like the indie game feels snappier, whereas like the fucking AAA game feels like you're trying to lug around a brick through water when you're trying to move your character because your fucking computer is trying to render like shitty grass textures that have like no variety but have like a million pixels, whereas like the indie game has like a bunch of different kinds of grass that look nice that are like simple or whatever.
yeah,
Also, have
yeah.
you seen the grass that I'm looking at? What do you think of these grass?
These are pretty. I see these all the
Yeah.
time.
Because
Those ones at
look,
least.
on the note of what you were saying there, Anseri, it's also very much the lifespan of a game that has realistic graphics is cut so short because stylistic graphics don't age as poorly.
I think there's
Like
actually
if
a
you
second part
look
of that.
at yeah,
There's a second part of that. Older games that were trying to look more advanced look really bad now, like Civ 5 or something. But then if you look at a game like Red Dead 2, the curve is like stopped. You can't really get more realistic than where we're at. So each increase in like a game looking more and more realistic, just it looks marginally better. The returns are they're like diminishing returns on that scale. So there's more money put into fucking less results and
I'll
stuff.
say another thing. Fucking AAA games never spend any time optimizing their goddamn game because like I spent years learning about data-driven design or data-driven develop. I think it's data-driven development or whatever, or that paradigm where you're trying to optimize things for like CPU usage or like make things perform well on like CPU or whatever. Because like a consumer, the end consumer can always get a new graphics card, right? But if your fucking code is just really terrible and it like runs slowly on a CPU, well, it's basically impossible for a consumer to get a new CPU, right? Because that's like they have to upgrade the whole computer, and like CPUs don't like get as much performance gains year over year when the new models come out. So if your game is slow because of bad CPU code, it's always going to be slow forever. Like it's always going to be unoptimized, and nobody's going to want to play that because that's just horrible to play. Also, have you seen this grass? It's like zebra grass. What do you think of zebra grass?
I've seen
zebra
zebra
grass
grass.
looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's
Meh.
one of my favorites.
Meh.
It's awesome. Look at this.
That's
like,
pretty cool.
It's got fucking stripes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much to add on to stuff like that. They have a C button on the controller. It opens
What
up.
the fuck does
What's
this?
this?
It opens up. It opens up the game chat.
Oh god.
There's a
A
webcam.
chatbot.
This is the webcam.
This is just stuff they can charge more for.
Yeah,
This is money making.
yeah. This is the shit that Nintendo always does with their fucking with their Wii wheel shit. So the games that they actually showed off, most of them are just enhanced versions of older games that are getting more content and stuff.
Oh yeah, the Nintendo way. Let me resell you this game with one more level.
But the big one for me is Mario Kart World, which is the next Mario Kart game, and you can play as a cow.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I don't know if that's gonna be. They show off some gameplay, but it's like a Mario Kart game, but Forza, and it actually looked really fun and cool. I liked it a lot. Look at this. This looks really cool. I like Mario Kart a lot, and I was happy to see this.
Bring back Crash Team Racing.
It'll die in hell again and again and again. Who owns the rights to Crash? It's still Naughty Dog, but who owns Naughty Dog? Does anyone know Naughty Dog? Are they independent? I don't even know.
I thought Sony owned the rights to Crash.
Oh, maybe, but no, because Crash 4, Crash back in It's About Time, or the fuck, released on
made by Naughty
Xbox.
Dog,
It released on
yes.
Xbox.
It doesn't. Yeah, but Sony does that.
What do you
Only
think of this
recently,
grass?
after on. I see it all the time. It's pretty. That too. These are reminding me a lot of my my grandparents' house, they're in their retirement community. You should get into trees. I feel like you would love getting obsessed over trees like you do with grass.
Do you know what's cool to get obsessed over? Fuck trees.
What?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms are pretty cool. Mushrooms. Are pretty cool.
Like
mushrooms are great.
Let me see if I can find it here.
Not a lot of games focus on having a shit ton of varieties of grass and trees and stuff. Except for Satisfactory. That game has really good grass.
Oh, Jade, do you want to see some real proper Nintendoing stuff?
games.
They're releasing... So, on the PS5, there was a demo you can play for free whenever you bought a PS5. It comes with everyone's PS5, where you can just play around in a little, 10, 20-minute... it's probably an hour-long game. And it just shows you, neat features on the PS5. Here's how the rumble works. Oh, no. They do that on the Switch 2 now, except it's a game of its own that you have to buy separately. And not a pack-in title. So you basically just buy a quiz game, and it's really stupid. That's classic Nintendo right there. Why the fuck would you ever? Why would you ever buy this? Why the fuck would you ever buy this? They also showed off this random fucking wheelchair racing, basketball game that looks like ass. It looks like a game that I would never even play if it was free. This is one of the only first-party games they showed off. I don't understand. This is their Wii Sports, I guess. I don't know. And then this is a big thing they showed off. A new FromSoft game. So, the people who make Dark Souls and stuff and Bloodborne, they made Dusk Bloods. The thing with Dusk Blood is that this is so clearly just supposed to be Bloodborne, but because Sony is strangling the rights to Bloodborne, I thought this was Bloodborne at first, but no, it's Dusk Bloods. But Sony is strangling the rights to Bloodborne so hard that FromSoft went and made their own spiritual successor to Bloodborne.
Yeah, but they can do that.
They can do that, yeah. But fuck Sony, genuinely fuck Sony, because we're never getting Bloodborne 2. We are never getting Bloodborne 2.
No, you're not.
But we will get this,
there
though.
It is. There's Bloodborne 2.
This is Bloodborne 2. Which I'm super excited for this. There's apparently going to be a multiplayer mode in this, too. A proper multiplayer. Instead of it being how it is. But, this looks fucking awesome. Look at that! Look at that! That's so cool! Look at this guy!
Majora's Mask.
It is like Majora's Mask. This looks exclusively to Nintendo Switch.
I'm gonna derail this again. Devil's Tooth. I found it. Look at this.
Holy fuck! This is actually, I don't want to look at that. That's actually terrifying. That actually fucked with my brain there. I actually literally don't want to look at that.
What?
The
This is
mushroom.
devil's tooth mushroom.
Yeah.
That made me recoil in fear. I don't want to look at that. That
Why?
that set off some phobia in my brain.
You'd rather
Oh
look at
no, I
cock
don't
than
want to look at it.
mushroom.
I don't want to look at it. Oh my god, like my legs are shaking. It's fucking disgusting.
All right.
It's like the fucking black plague boils on the body. It's ugh.
It's a mushroom.
Yeah, I know. But it looked fucking horrific. It looked like your body was rotting with the disease. Here was the thing that actually had me fucking shitting my pants though. Fucking Deltarune chapter 3 and 4. Fucking Deltarune. Yes. I've been waiting for this for like for so fucking long. Deltarune chapter 2 came out in like 2021. I've been waiting for this for so fucking long. Me and my
Can you hear that?
What?
Can you hear that noise in my background?
I did not hear that, no.
Okay, good.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited for this. Like, yeah, chapter 1 and 2 and all that are coming to Switch 2, obviously. But then, like, that's new? This is new? That's what the fuck? Oh my god, I'm so excited for fucking... I literally, like the little fucking thing when it popped up here, I was like, oh my god, we're actually getting it, for real. Oh my god, I'm so happy. And Hades 2 is coming, obviously, like some more third-party games. Cyberpunk on Switch is gonna be fucking hilarious.
I've already been watching people play Hades 2.
Yeah, but like the full, like obviously it's coming to it. I mean, like obviously I'm just saying it. But the one other thing that randomly got shown in a sizzle reel that nobody like nobody expected to be there was fucking Silk Song.
The fucking Silk Song.
So do you know Hollow Knight?
Oh yeah.
So Hollow Knight's
Oh, yeah.
one of those indie darlings, and Silk Song is supposed to be a follow-up. What? All right, I'm just not gonna click that, I guess. Silk Song is the is like the follow-up to Hollow Knight that was promised like years and years ago, and it just never had. Like, oh, Silk Song's coming out soon. Don't worry, Silk Song's coming out. It'll happen. And then randomly in a sizzle reel, they just showed Silk Song on Nintendo Switch 2, and it's like, what the fuck?
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
It's literally a Half-Life 3. It's like, what the fuck?
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Oh my god, there's a lot to be excited for with the Switch 2. I feel, because there's a lot of like indie stuff coinciding with it, like the fact that Nintendo has a fucking FromSoft game as a launch title, the fact not launch title as an exclusive, the fact that there's a fucking like Deltarune 2 is coming out, like that's Deltarune 2, or Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 coming out the same day as the Switch as like a fucking like a tie-in, the Silk Song. There's a lot of cool shit coming. That's so cool. Also, there's a new Donkey Kong game.
What do you think of this, by the way?
That is a chicken.
What about this? What do you think of this?
That is a different chicken. Rooster,
What about
maybe.
this?
This one looks like a classic, like, you know, when you go to like a Home Goods and look at the art on the wall and like they have just like random pictures of chickens. This is what I imagine. When I think
That's
of
a pretty cock.
that. And Sari's showing her cocks off to the world. Yellow jungle fowl. Amazing Google searches only. But yeah, there's that's the Nintendo Switch. I'm not gonna even fucking open up your stream again, Jade. Fuck you.
Why?
Because I know
Okay, I made it go away. We can go back to the normal background. We can go back to the normal background. That was good. That was good.
What?
That was good.
What was good?
All of the things.
What is all of the things?
All of the things.
All
What are
of
you
the
talking about?
things.
I know you're not talking about Nintendo because you would never call Nintendo good.
What do you think of this? I drew this a million years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Parking violations.
Yeah.
Are we wrapping up here
Epic
now?
for emotes as well.
We're at an hour 40.
I think so.
I got places
I
to
think
be
so.
soon. Not
You do.
soon, but like I gotta get stuff. I
You gotta get the editing done.
gotta get editing done. I gotta do a thumbnail, and then at 2:30 I gotta leave somewhere. I also forgot until earlier, like yesterday, that I can't stream tonight because I have a fucking friend game night tonight that I completely forgot about.
What's
What?
game night? What's game
It's
night?
game night.
What are we gonna do?
No,
Are
no,
we
no, no,
gonna
no.
play
It's
Repo?
a different friend group. We do like board game nights.
So
what's the
does that mean you're not gonna make it to movie night?
Are you guys gonna
No,
play
it's after movie night.
Tic-Tac-Toe Pool Monsters Edition?
It's after movie night. What time is movie night today? It's like 4 p.m. for me, I think.
It's,
Well, it's
it's
10
at 4
p.m. for me.
It's what for you?
10 p.m. for me.
So that's -6. That is 4 p.m. Yeah.
Who's hosting movie night?
Jade is. It's Double Dragon.
We're doing Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
So
be back
yeah.
before that.
Thanks for everybody who stopped by and
Please check out the Patreon. Check out our other places like Twitch and YouTube. Check out Anseridae, please. I have to
You
sneeze.
check out my GitHub, my tic-tac-toe game. I'm gonna implement multiplayer for it soon, and like a different like fucking what's it called? Like card decks or whatever as well. That's coming soon.
Like Balatro.
Yeah, but it's like tic-tac-toe and kind of like dual monsters, sorta.
That'll explode, I'm sure.
Can you imagine if we like built a card game?
What?
Can you imagine if we built like a card game? Something like Slay the Spire.
Like a deck builder. Those always
I wouldn't
blow up.
call
Those always
I
explode.
wouldn't
I
call
think-
Slay the Spire.
I think I
deck
have
builder.
something like a little more like because like I don't really like randomness too much or like too much randomness. I want to make my thing more like chess. So it's like you unlock decks, but it's not like you draw random cards. It's like you just enter the game with the deck that you could like spawn things from. It kind of works a bit differently than a deck builder, but
Like
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I feel like it's a little bit more creative than just going with like random cards or whatever.
But yeah.
Yeah. Like, follow, subscribe. It's all free to do.
Yeah.
Leave nice comments.
Yeah. Whatever the thing is on GitHub, I think it's like star my repos or whatever.
Who knows?
Star the repos.
Don't
Click the
star
follow
the
button.
repo.
Mhm.
But yeah, everybody enjoy yourselves out there. Have a wonderful time in life and such.
Yeah.
And
Follow my
we'll
Twitch as well.
yes,
Lamau, that's another
and
thing.
we'll see you guys next
In the next
week.
one.
Bye.
Next time, don't forget me again, Lamau.